If you're like me, you're kind of like going crazy with what's going on with the suppression of the FBI information. I've done such a 180, not a 360. A 360 puts you right back at your when you started. A 180 is I'm in a completely different position. For years, I defended. Oh, America's not a bad place. People are all anti-American. Well, they need. Let me tell you, the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Homeland Security. Do you know that this shooter, this guy, Thomas Crooks, actually shot at a range, which is a frequent place for Department of Homeland Security and FBI agents and retired agents to shoot? Right there in that Butler County, right in that range. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to talk about right now about what the FBI is covering up that makes me feel as though we have got to do a forensic exposure, and I don't think we're going to get it unless Trump is in office, an exposure of the corruption of what really happened on January 6th. All that is tied in what happens in the next 70 days. But when I get stressed out, and I do, I come right back to collagen normalcy, and that's because my staff has been making me, and my wife has been making me improve and recover my strength, my metabolism, my gut health, by having 23 grams of clean protein from grass-fed whey protein. And as I got older, I found out that the regenerative power of something called A2, non-fat milk protein, actually helps me build muscle. Each scoop of this whey protein that I'm getting right here, and I'm talking about the milk chocolate, 23 grams with the A2 milk protein, this whey chocolate product actually comes with eggshell membrane collagen to reduce joint discomfort. It's probably one of the biggest secrets I've got going on right now is the fact that my diet now has whey and various other ancient nutrition products built in to my gut health, my psychic health, and my digestive system. As you get older, folks, this is the secret to looking younger, being stronger, looking better, feeling like you've got more vitality. AncientNutrition.com/Lance will get you a special discount. AncientNutrition.com/Lance. Use the code WHEY, WHEY. That's WHEY. And you can see how you can get 20% off and various other advantages. Mercedes, are you aware of the fact that this product here is raised without hormones?
Hey, all of Jordan Rubin's products are fantastic. Like you call him, he's the Edison. He's got his Edison farm.
He's Edison in the basement. Now, I want to get into today's show, but I'm telling you, your mental and physical gut health and your metabolism is so important as you get older, especially in these stressful political times. AncientNutrition.com/Lance. Use the code WHEY. Join me. I use these products. Let's get into today's show. The thing I want to talk to you about is I did this broadcast when I was out of the country, and the sound wasn't working. Broke my heart to have to delete it, but I'm going to have to do. I want to cover now what mysteriously I said a few days ago at an undisclosed location many miles away from the United States. I was with my wife on a little getaway for a few days. And I said, I've got to talk to the people and tell them. You see, there's something about this shooter scenario in Butler, Pennsylvania. By the way, we're going to be going out 16 miles from Butler to do a courage tour. Did you know that?
Yes, I do know that.
What are the dates of that going to be? Roughly around September?
I think we're going to do the evening. So the evening of the 27th and then all day on the 28th.
Right there, 16 miles from Butler, people, where they tried to kill the president. President Trump, former president.
You can go to thecouragetour.com.
Go to thecouragetour.com and make sure that you are scheduled to be there for this wild event. Now, we're going to do the Courage Tour there. So anyway, I am not an alarmist. You know me. I'm the soul of, if anything, I'm like, I'm trying to keep my batting average really good in terms of what I swing at when I make a prediction. But the situation with the shooter, this Crooks, Thomas Crooks, it's almost like these names come out of central casting. Every now and then, I remember this Alex Jones interview that he did with Joe Rogan. He said, we're like, really, this is like everything that's happening here is a script coming from some other realm. And it seems like it. Like, how would you have a character who's trying to kill Trump called Crooks? I mean, it could have been anything. He's Crooks, right? So it's like, anyway. So Crooks, somehow we got a picture of him. And I want my producer, we'll find it here in post. They'll be able to put it up for you. Of Crooks taken by a person attending the rally. And he looks like he's carrying the rifle with him. So he's walking around the perimeter on his way to the roof with the rifle. And you can see somebody takes a picture of him carrying a rifle. Well, anyway, it was one of our great congressmen who did the investigation on January 6th. He's a former cop himself. I got to get his name. And I think his name is Cribbs or something like that. But he went to go check out the body of Crooks. Just he wanted to go do his own, examination of the shooting site. Come to find out the body was cremated. The FBI had the body cremated, so there was no evidence left in the body. It was
wow.
It was basically the government turned it over to the family and then expedited a cremation ceremony. Why would you cremate a body that is actually potential evidence? Well, what would you be looking for? Have to get pictures of the body, obviously, the head blown off. Well, the question would be for a forensic. Maybe they want to make sure that the body was shot from one location and not two, because the story is that he was shot. Mind you, there's 8 shell casings that were on the roof. Now, I didn't know this, but this cat was able to get within like 150 meters, 150 yards of the president, shoot 8 times, boom, 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 and then was shot right away. That's 8 shell casings. How did they end up with 8 shell casings? This is the story I'm trying to get at. I thought he shot 4 times, not 8. Then, was there like 1 shot or 2 shots that were fired at him? Because the story is he was taken out with just 1 shot. But why was his body cremated? The other thing which is interesting, I want you to listen to me, because it's making me a little bit more on the side of you skeptics out there to say there's conspiracy of cover-up. Why? The shooting range, Mercedes Sparks, where Thomas Crooks practiced, is also a shooting range where retired, active Department of Homeland Security and FBI agents also practice. That means he was in proximity, potentially, to other agents, other shooters, or other professionals. Well, that's just sheer coincidence. But then the question comes out, how does a 20-year-old develop the cyber sophistication to be able to have encrypted accounts that are able to be designed with such levels of complexity that he has 0 social media footprint? Do you really believe that a 20-year-old that could be radicalized to the point where they're at a shooting range practicing to take out someone like Donald Trump would have no contact with any information outside of their own subtle little psychoses? Well, I'm sure there were websites. I'm sure there were chat threads. Maybe he was at a gaming site, practicing shooter games as a 19-year-old or something. These are all the problems that we have here, because we do not have a story as to why we have no cyber evidence of where in the world this kid. It's as though he never existed. You know what it looks like? It's like Kamala Harris's voting history. If you go check out her voting history, all of the time she voted for endless debt and expense and green investment, it's all being bleached. It's all being bleached, but it's all being evaporated. You can't find it. The internet and the Democrat Party is doing a brilliant job of covering over the traces of anything she's ever said or done that exposes the radical Marxist roots of her own policy and thinking. But I don't want to digress. Are we supposed to believe the young Crooks there with the 8 shell casings that were recovered by the FBI, the body that was cremated with the government's evidently urgent facilitation, the fact that the site location where he was practicing has agents, federal agents that are there? Are we supposed to assume that all this is normal with the encrypted media accounts, so he has no history whatsoever of anything? And so I would say that I'm becoming more and more suspicious all the time about what happened. Now, here's the interesting thing about the person in charge of that location. Here's my own thinking on this. I don't believe the person in charge was told, "Hey, we're gonna take out Donald Trump." No, they don't do it like that. But you see, the way that the government does it is, and it's out of the Bible, actually. Do you recall the story of David when he wanted to take out one of his soldiers. It was Uriah the Hittite, the husband of Bathsheba. Once Bathsheba had disclosed to David that she was pregnant with child and that her husband refused to have sex with her because as long as his soldiers were in the field and war, he was not going to come home and have conjugal rights that his own men didn't have the privilege of experiencing. David was so frustrated with him, he tried to get the guy drunk and go sleep with his wife. The guy slept outside that night. So David went to, this is all Bible, folks. Our guy David had a bad chapter here. He goes to Joab. He says, hey, Uriah, you know that guy Uriah? I got a problem here, buddy. I want you to go bring his unit up right to the heat of the battle near the wall where there's a lot of casualties. Then I want you to withdraw your forces from him, back up and leave him as a target. In other words, put him in the place of maximum vulnerability. Now, this is what the devil does. This is what our intelligence community did, our FBI did. How do I know that? Well, you see, they put someone in charge of the site, evidently, who said, well, we're going to take 150 feet, 150 yards worth of space. We'll loan that, and then the local police will do the rest. We're not going to have a command and control center where we're talking to each other. We're not even going to have our radios in the same frequency. Local police, you go out there. We're going to go in here. Who's covering the roof? Oh, who knows? An incompetent was put in charge. Somebody who's checking off boxes in the diversity, equity, inclusion, categories. Or maybe it goes like this. When you're being promoted in the Secret Service, have you done a rally? Have you done a stadium? Have you done an indoor gathering? Have you done a hotel? And they're checking off boxes, but they don't have the experience for covering Donald Trump. And so in a sense, it's like David saying, just withdraw your competency and put the man in the kill box where he could get taken out. That's how you have this kind of incompetence. It's a setup. All right, so why would they have a counter sniper, folks? Are you tracking with me, folks? Are you with me? Why do we have the first time we have a counter sniper, meaning somebody's up there, we're supposed to have two, that were over the roof where the shooter was, but they were out of the window, wandering around the lawn looking for a potential shooter, instead of staying where they were, covering the vulnerable roof. Anyway. They had some other guy, fortunately, located near where Trump was, where they're watching the shooter. They're evidently watching the guy's head bobbing up and down, watching. They hear the shots. They had enough visibility to be able to get a headshot. Boom, and take him out after he shoots, evidently, 8 rounds. Here's my question. Why did they have a counter sniper on the roof? Do you know why? The first time. They never had one earlier. They didn't have one at any of Trump's very vulnerable appointments that he had in cities. Remember him outside of in New York, outside the courtroom? This is very unfair. This is very getting in and out of his vehicles, his SUVs. All those windows of buildings all around him. They never had a counter sniper. The reason why I'm elongating my point is there's suddenly other whistleblower stories coming out about an Iranian plot to bring people into the United States that would try to take out Trump. One man was identified and already arrested as a Pakistani who was here working with an Iranian underground network in order to help him facilitate an assassination attempt in revenge on Donald Trump for the killing of Soleimani, their general. Now, here's what's interesting. They've been tracking that for 3 months prior to the Butler incident. Why is that important, Lance? Because they denied Trump his request for extra service security, knowing for 3 months prior to the attack that there was Iranians coordinating an attack or an assassination attempt. In other words, our FBI knew about an attack that was imminent and withheld protection from Trump and put an incompetent in charge of his security. Question is, why was the counter sniper there? Good question. I don't know. The real conspiracy people feel that the counter sniper was there to make sure that if the person who was trying to kill Trump failed, they would be taken out and nobody would be able to trace their story back to an intelligence source, it's always a lone gunman. The lone gunman narrative, like Oswald, must be the narrative when you have a conspiracy. These things trouble me now, people. I'm going to take a break right now. We're going to come right back. You don't want to miss a moment of today's show.
You ask and we listen. We're finally bringing the most requested offer ever. Get the queen-size premium MyPillow, now only $19.98. MyPillow is made with patented adjustable fill. It adjusts to your exact individual needs regardless of your sleep position. It helps keep your neck aligned and holds its shape all night long so you get the best sleep of your life. But that's not all. Get our 6-piece kitchen or bath towel sets only $25. Our brand new mattress topper as low as $69.98. Get our famous MyPillow bed sheets for as low as $25 and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get huge discounts on all MyPillow products, including the premium queen-size MyPillow, only $19.98. That's the lowest price ever. Don't delay, order today. From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks America!
Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Lance to save big on all of Mike's best products. That's promo code Lance.
So the theory of the case is, if it's possible that Trump gets elected as president, the people that are covering their own butts right now in the service industry, meaning that also in the intelligence community and the Secret Service, there are whistleblowers. I mean, Trump does have like 90 million people that will vote for him. They're not all hidden away in some kind of, eclectic, extreme MAGA, day camp somewhere in the middle of red state, Missouri. These people are all over the place. They're in the intelligence agencies. They're in the police department, and they whistle blow against the system. And there's a lot of noise coming out now. There's a lot of footage coming out of policemen that are mad that they saw the danger. They're not stupid and they're not incompetent, that they had asked the Secret Service, told the Secret Service, here's the key places you need to post people. We're going to do our job. You do yours. Play the footage right now that just came out. Not the picture of Crooks with his rifle walking around, but of the angry policemen in Butler who are discussing their detail and their meeting with the Secret Service prior to the shooting. Play it. All right, check it out.
5036, 5030, start towards the farm shop.
I told them they need to post the guys
here to Denver.
I told them that the Secret Service. I told them that Tuesday. I told them to post guys over here.
I have no contact with you.
What?
I thought you got someone.
No, we're inside.
Alpha 1, Bravo 1.
And so what you're seeing right now, do you want to describe the podcast?
Tell him.
So you got a police officer walking around the same area where Crooks put the ladder and got on top of the roof, and in the back of the parking lot, he's saying, I told Secret Service to post people here.
And he's saying, well, where were you? We were inside. So police were inside. Secret Service were not where they were supposed to be, posted outside.
No, Secret Service was inside.
Oh, Secret Service was inside.
They said, where were they? And they're like, oh, they were inside. He goes, I thought they were going to be out here. They got to post a guy out here. They were inside.
I don't think so.
It's just wild.
Well, the point is the same site manager agent that was in charge of that is still in charge. Believe it or not, it's not like Afghanistan. You withdraw and lose $100 billion worth of inventory. Nobody gets fired. Everybody keeps their jobs. This is the progressive left when it's in control of. It's like unions. It's like you're not dealing with competence now. You're dealing with a system that is designed to protect itself at the expense of the client. So the point is, if you want to get to the bottom of Spygate, which was when they had spied on Donald Trump and they had set up the dossier that tied up America for 2 years with Russian collusion or the Russian laptop lie from 51 intelligence agent directors, or the pipe bomb on January 6th that was casually planted by someone that they can't identify, though they could trace 1,500 Americans based upon their cell phones from where they were on January 6th in the Capitol to their home in Peoria, but they couldn't find the guy that planted the pipe bombs, though they have him totally on video with his cell phone, but somehow the cell phone data got lost. If you want to know what happened with the 200 agents that were in the crowd on January 6th, which we now know has been verified, what were the plainclothes agents actually doing? What was the story with the pipe bomb? What was going on with spying on Donald Trump and the dossier, the setup? If you want to know about the Trump assassination, the cover-up, what you haven't been told, there's only one way it's going to happen, and that's if Trump gets elected. If Trump does not get elected, that stuff is forever going to go into the memory hole. You'll never know what happened. That's the sad thing. You will never know what happened. And what is also bothersome to me, while I'm on a happy moment here, is I was watching the debate. Did you get a chance, Mercedes, to listen to it all? The Trump Elon Musk conversation.
Yeah, I listened to almost the whole thing. Yeah.
So there was a DDS, or a denial of service, that had interrupted. Now Elon Musk is arguably one of the smartest tech guys out there. I mean, he's got the rockets. He buys X. He's got his own Grok now, their own AI intelligence system, their own search engine. When Elon Musk gets taken down for 30 minutes because of a digital invasion, does anyone in America doubt that there is technology out there that can interrupt the ability of the election to process information and store data, retrieve data, and give meaningful results within the same 24 hours? I would suggest to you that the same forces that can take down an Elon Musk conversation with Trump, or knock off Rumble when Rumble was blocked for like 15 or 20 minutes during the debate with Biden and Trump. I'd say that our infrastructure is vulnerable when it comes to internet capacity. And if you want to make sure that your vote is going to get in and not be interfered with, blocked, or delayed, or if you're not going to see polling places down because of some kind of anomaly going on with computers, then you need to be banking your vote early and check to make sure that your vote is being accounted. I'm serious about this. People that are going to put off voting to election day are potentially setting themselves up for a digital crisis. And what you want to do is you want to get your vote out there early, and you want to check to make sure your vote is actually representing you. Yeah,
I heard somebody say don't think of it as like election day, but think of it as voting season. That we have vote early. I think case in point is what happened in Arizona when they were doing the Senate race there. That when they went to go vote, a majority of northern, primarily red counties, the voting machines stopped counting ballots on the day of the election. And it cost a lot of votes to Kari Lake for that reason. But weirdly, it worked in South, predominantly Democrat counties.
Yeah.
Remember all that?
How about that? How about that? Let's talk about that for a second. By the way, there's so much news we got to cover today, and I hate to.
I said Senate. I meant governor. Go ahead.
Huh?
I said senator because she's running for Senate now, but I meant governor.
Yeah, right. Yeah, governor then, senator now, the same situation. But have you noticed something? Have you noticed that everybody's waiting for the Iranian response, Iran. They call it Iran, not Iran. I'm so American. It's Iran. But then when I talk to my Middle East friends, it's like Iran. It's Iran, not Iran.
You're Texas. Iran.
I'm an Iranian. When you go to those Iranians. So anyway, the Iran is supposed to be attacking Israel. Everybody's waiting for the great, because they took out, in Tehran, they took out the Hamas leader, right? So was it the number 2 guy in Hamas? I forget. Then they took out the number 1 guy in Hezbollah. So they're hitting Hezbollah, which is the north. Remember this, you got 2 organizations. Hezbollah works with Lebanon, and Hamas works with Gaza. So you got Gaza, border with Egypt, and Hezbollah to the north. Well, everybody's waiting for Iran to attack. The reason why I'm saying this is because I was invited to go speak in Israel. And I had to really, think about this because flights were being canceled because of imminent war. Everybody knows it's going to be war. Because Iran has to respond and has said they're going to respond forcibly. Why has there not been an attack yet? I have a theory.
Because they're waiting for the anniversary of
what?
October.
Oh, you think they're waiting for the anniversary of Yom Kippur, October 6th again?
That's what I was thinking.
While I'm there, you're thinking that's when they're going to attack? Thanks a lot, Mercedes, for that vote of prophetic encouragement. I'm going to tell you what I think is happening. I believe that even though Iran would love to retaliate against Israel, Biden and the U.S. Pentagon did send a whole lot of assets to the region, which means that they have firepower in the air. They wouldn't use it against Iran, but they would use it against any interference against Israel. Here's the point. In 2006, there was a group of, an attack that overtook a group of servicemen from Israel. I think 3 of them were abducted or killed. And it had so incensed and wounded the tit-for-tat policy of, you take a target, we hit a target. They underestimated the response of Israel in 2006. And I studied this when I was down there. Israel hit a bombardment campaign that knocked Lebanon back into the Stone Age. They went in and took out blocks and blocks and blocks of Lebanon infrastructure in order to keep them from doing that. The mastermind of the 2006 attack on Israel said, had we known they were going to do that, we never would have done what we did. They overreacted. We certainly didn't think it was a measured response. I really believe that Israel sent the message to Hezbollah, and they did this. They said, if you do something, we're going back to 2006. And that has caused Hezbollah to say, let's figure out, we got to do something, but we can't do that. All right, so listen, we're going to be back again next week. You don't want to miss a moment of this ever prescient analysis of current events on the Lance Wallnau Show. God bless you.
Did you enjoy this latest episode? Please remember to share it with your friends, because the more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to navigate the world.